information. Always learning, always asking questions, someone with endless curiosity. And apparently, in addition to collecting information, she has a problem. She collects stray people, but really trying to reform and only collect stray animals. Her story is about this journey. Welcome, Mickey.
I have notes because I have to refer to notes, so that's fine, yeah, okay. So, I used to let strangers live in my house. I told myself I was helping people. And in some cases I was, but I was really running an unintentional social experiment. In when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I had a dream to create a sanctuary for homeless, unwanted animals, cats and dogs, so they would have a place to go. My mother was the first paid employee of a large rescue organization. I used to volunteer there. It was something we did. We didn't just talk about helping, we did help. And so I carried that into adulthood. And as an adult, I came to a point in my life where things had changed. I was widowed. I was living in a big house with a big mortgage. My kids were going off to college, and I had this idea. I'll rent out a room. I thought it was practical. I put an ad on Craigslist, and at first it worked. I met interesting people, entrepreneurs, engineers, a stage manager for the Jerry Springer show. Some were great. One even became a really good friend of mine. So I thought, this is fine, I've got this. Out of a few dozen renters, most were fine, but a few I will never forget. One of them was Sherman. He was in his 50s, a video engineer. He seemed charming at first. But side note, when you meet somebody and you're coming off of medical procedure and you're under the influence of some medical substances, don't make important decisions. They tell you that, everything feels like a good idea at that time. A few months in, things changed. The water heater broke, and he called the cops on me. He claimed I was withholding services from him. Things got only worse. He started barricading himself in his room and placing cups of some strange substances, I'm not quite sure, some science experiments maybe, on the ledge outside his window. I'm not sure what they were. He refused to leave, so I had to take him to housing court. And as I dug into things, I found out he had changed his name. Years earlier, he had been arrested and tried for stealing artwork from a museum where he had worked.
Whoa.
And there were prior evictions too. And eventually I got him out. But even after that, other landlords reached out to me, and there was the same pattern, different houses. So you would think I would have learned. But no. A few years later, another friend reached out to me. Needed a place to stay, supposedly temporary. He was a friend. We had lots of mutual connections. We both loved music. We did the same circle of friends. Seemed clean cut. His nickname was OD. Maybe that should have been a hint. But it was more like a warning label in hindsight. I didn't think twice at the time until one night when the phone rang and I got a call from a detective. We have permission to search his room. Turns out the party supplies were not just a couple of beers and some weed. We were talking heavy-duty drugs, ledgers, the works. Not exactly what I had in mind when I rented the room. And then there was one more, a friend, needing a temporary place to stay in the dead of winter. She seemed fine at first. Turns out when she started drinking, she became the nasty drunk, and she started bad-mouthing me to my friends and family. Lots of fun. The final straw was one day she went into the bathroom. I was running the water for the bathtub. She went into the bathroom, closed the door, and refused to leave. I said, "You have to get out." She finally left. But when she came back to get some more of her stuff, she accused me of stealing her pillow. I did not have her pillow. But that's how she became the pillow girl. And now, to be fair, not everyone was like this. Most people were fine, but there were a few that weren't. And they brought chaos, stress, and sometimes real risk. And I started to notice a pattern. People who had jobs in the area but lived elsewhere, they were fine. Young people starting out, needed a place to live, they were usually fine. But middle-aged people with unclear situations, there was something else going on. And it wasn't that I made bad decisions, it was that I was leading with without my instinct to help without boundaries. And these days, when someone is in need, I still want to help. I offer advice, I don't offer a room. I fostered animals, taken in pets that need homes. I've even taken in a parakeet that got passed around to a bunch of kids in the area who got tired of it. Animals need help too, but they don't call the police on you when the water heater breaks. And they don't come with fake names and court histories. And they definitely don't accuse you of stealing their pillows. At some point I realized peace of mind is worth more than a few extra bucks in the bank. And I didn't lose my big heart, I just finally learned where to put it.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you, Lee.